When you see yourself, you're live. Yes, that is the worst picture of me ever taken. I am wearing a collared shirt. I am looking like I like computers. That is not who I am because I am a basketball savant. Joel Walkowski, the professional gambler, giving you the best daily NBA bets straight off a 0-4 Monday. We knew that was coming, didn't we, folks? We made $100 we shouldn't have on Sunday night playing fast and loose on a Seahawks live bet. And then we threw it out on a lot of pretty logical picks. To be honest with you, I would have made those picks again. Toronto needed the win over Boston on a back-to-back. You know what? Toronto got blown out of the water. You know, Dallas, they're playing a Houston team I think is pretty talented. They're getting on a plane. They're playing Houston. They blow out Houston. So, and then the same thing happens. All these teams on the back end of a back-to-back are blowing out their opposition. Craziness. It was not my night, but we're still 13-6 on the year. And just like Sam Hinkie, we're trust in the process. It's 13-6. That gets you a 2-seed, baby. That's probably how many NBA regular season games there will be this year. What up, COVID? So it is tempting to look around the slate. Maybe you want to bet on Philadelphia and Washington if you're feeling the patriotism in the air. They're storming the Capitol. You're backing Russell Westbrook. No, that's not what we're doing. We are taking a trip down south to Atlanta. We've been backing the Hawks quite a bit. And, you know, the attention of the world is in Atlanta right now. And they're favored by 6 against the Charlotte Hornets, a competent yet struggling team. And, you know, you might look at this at first glance and think, oh, this line's maybe a little bit too high because the Hawks are missing dimensions from their team right now. Gallinari, he does so much for them off the second unit. He's got a sprained ankle. And then Trae Young, I mean, he truly is the next Kyrie Irving. By that, I mean, he's got the worst defensive metrics in the NBA, but they did prop him up with 2 all-NBA, all-defensive team, like, capable players in Chris Dunn and Rajon Rondo, who I have a pair of his game shoes. They're terrible. But they don't have these defenders, but still, I think it's going to be a motivated Atlanta team. They're coming off a pretty bad loss to the Knicks the other night. They've blown consecutive second half leads of 15 points on, I think, 3 consecutive games. And there's still a lot of confidence in that locker room. They are saying they lost to some teams they shouldn't have lost to. They've got Bogdanovich saying he's going to tough through injuries because the rotation, to be honest, really needs them. And then Charlotte, I mean, I think Atlanta, like, even with these injuries, I think they're about 7 points better than Charlotte. And then if you just want to throw in, like, the factors that there might be something in the air in Atlanta today, people might be galvanized. There will be a good energy. I think there is, like, obviously we want to look at the health. We want to look at the travel. But you don't really want to go against a city when it's having a banner day. And all things being equal, I went with Atlanta here. I picked them over Philadelphia, though. I was tempted to go with Philly. So we have 4 today. I went with that one. And then a lot of funny line movement today. Like, it's these videos, so much is dependent on when we make them. If I made this video last night, I probably would have taken the Knicks against the Utah Jazz on the second end of a back-to-back. But you know what? That line has moved like 2 points already. I'm not going to touch that at this current point. So that being said, let's look for a little bit of movement in our favor. I'm talking Toronto Raptors at Phoenix Suns. This opened at Raptors 3.5. It's down to 2.5. And the Raptors, I know you're really tempted. They need a win right now. Lowry, Van Vliet, they're a veteran team. They know when to dig deep and go for it. But my issue here is DeAndre Ayton. The problem with Toronto is, yeah, you might not think losing Ibaka, losing Gasol are things that are really going to set back a franchise. They're both on the north side of 30, but both guys can defend. They're consummate big men. And, you know what? Aaron Baines, he's a great workhorse. He stretches the floor offensively, but he's not quite, he doesn't do everything those guys do. And against his old teammate, DeAndre Ayton, who he played pretty well in his absence, I think it's going to be a fun little showdown. But just in terms of the physicality, I like DeAndre Ayton over Aaron Baines every step of the way. It's basically, you know, I would like Toronto in this game, but Phoenix has something to prove. They've got this chip on their shoulder all year, and now their old buddy's coming over. And it's like, let's say you move to a new city. Your buddy comes to visit, and you're going to lay out the red carpet to look as well as you can. And you know what? I think that's going to be the situation with Phoenix. They're going to go all out to show out for their boy, Aaron Baines, and they're going to win this game in 2.5. That's a nice line there. I love that. I'm getting some comments. Props to the picture. Is that the props network still I created for the Bet Bunker? We'll be back soon, I hope. Is it about the oil painting of me as a basketball hero from my own personal archive? You know, a lot of people don't know this. Man, it's hard to get these off. But unlike a lot of these people, I am a championship basketball player. I've won 3 titles, hard won on the streets of Brooklyn. And this championship experience is something that the New Orleans Pelicans could need. I know the Pelicans are Zion's team. I know Brandon Ingram is Kevin Durant 2.0. The reboots are never as good as the originals, but they are playing the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight in New Orleans, 8-point favorite at the Smoothie King Arena. And it was very disappointing to go down there and realize that Smoothie King was not a New Orleans chain. I went there and they laughed me out of the kiosk at the mall. You want to have someone who's a below an Orange Julius employee laugh at you? Visit the Smoothie King in New Orleans, act like it's a regional institution, and they will laugh you out of the building. Nonetheless, these two teams played on New Year's Eve. The New Orleans Pelicans blew them out of the water, and I just think it's a better rotation across the board here, folks. I think it's a tanking Pelicans team. I think it's a tanking Thunder team, and the Pelicans, you're going to see their best ball tonight. They blew a game against Indiana Monday night. That was just such an awful brain fart of a basketball performance. They're up 10 with just a couple minutes to go. Lonzo turns it over. It turns into a 3-pointer for Indiana. It turns into a 10-point run. It turns into an overtime loss for the Pelicans. They're going to get their shit together. Oklahoma City, Detroit Pistons, these are your bumper bowl champions of the year. By that, I mean, when you want to get on track, if you're not going where you need to go, if you're not getting the outcome you expected, these teams are going to just put you in the right direction. Oklahoma City, go against them all year long. This is no exception. If it's under 10, anti-OKC. And if you really want to if you like OKC, maybe take whatever the Shea Gilgeous-Alexander over-under for points is. I don't know. Can I pull that up on the Props Network tool? Let's see if I can do it. I think I can, but I think that'd be a little bit too much dead air for us right now. So we'll work up to that. And I think I got one more pick. I think I got one more for us. And you know what I did? I brought up the same pick twice in my window. So this last pick, Sacramento's a crazy place, huh? I've only been to Sacramento twice. First time I set up a hammock in front of the governor's mansion, cracked a beer, and I just slept in that hammock overnight. It was cool. Second time I went to a sauna. I was hanging out with my girlfriend's cousin and her boyfriend, and they broke up at 11:59 on New Year's Eve. It was fantastic. You're having a great moment. People are moving around boxes around you. It's weird. It's not fun, but it's kind of interesting, which is a good correlation for this year's Chicago Bulls. I hate this team. I hate them so much. They're on a winning streak. I still hate them. Zach LaVine is balling out. Zach LaVine hit a game winner. People are singing Zach LaVine's praises, and Zach LaVine will never be on a playoff team. He stinks. He's 30 points, basically 30 wins a season. I mean, if your points per game is the same as your team's wins with you as the best player, I'm not really going to take you seriously. You're probably just Kevin Martin with a slightly better vertical leap. And again, Sacramento looked awful on Monday against the Golden State Warriors. Maybe Steph is hot right now. That line movement we're talking about, we are seeing it in that Clippers Warriors game. I mean, Clippers are on a back-to-back, but that was a 6-point swing on that game there. But I will stay on this for a minute. So I think the Bulls have the thinnest rotation in the league, but they're already out Markkanen. They're already out Satoransky. And there's actually some rumors that some COVID is actually going through that team. So on the contrary, there's a 3-guard rotation with Tyrese Halliburton coming back. We got Halliburton, we got Fox, we got Hield, and we actually saw the Kings kind of struggle without Halliburton. So props to him. Like he's really showing a lot of impact. This rookie class has got a lot of overperforming players for this early in the season. So yeah, -7 points here. We're going to take the Kings over the Bulls on a back-to-back, no less. You love to see it. This is my favorite pick of the one. I know we're taking, like, it's not set like the Pelicans and the Saints, they in the Kings, they aren't great teams. Why are they favored by 7 or 8? But I think it's okay. I think they're 7 or 8 points better than their opponents tonight. So in closing, here are the picks for tonight. We like the Suns going against the Toronto Raptors in Tampa Bay, in Phoenix. I don't know. Either way, this game's in a city I don't want to go. So I like Phoenix there. I like Pelicans over Thunder because we always dislike the Thunder, and we think Pelicans will be motivated after blowing a pretty ugly game to Indiana. Seriously, go watch that on YouTube when you're not subscribing to all the Props Network YouTube channels. You know, we do this for NFL. We do it for NCAA. We give you the most entertaining yet insightful analysis you can find in an easy-to-enjoy package. I strained my forearm a couple weeks ago. I hate being old. It's awful. And I got 2 more picks. I need to just summarize. Stop flexing, Joel. You're showing your muscles. You're showing off your paintings. And we like Atlanta over Charlotte. That line is 6. If you can maybe buy a half point on that, I would advise it. And then our last pick, we of course like the Kings over the Bulls. So that's where I'm at today. If you have any player props, I will give you guys 30 seconds to reach out for any questions, queries, or things you want the guys' insight on. Okay, so while I'm doing that, I will spin this ball on my finger. I'll do a little toss there. My girlfriend is not home. She threw out $4,000 today. So we are all right. This is how we break all of our equipment here at the Props Network. And we've got my landlord knocking at the door. Did she find the check? Do we have any questions coming in? So I had a great time here doing the NBA Daily Pick. I hope we are successful today. We don't do these to go 0-4, to go 4-0. We're just trying to go 3-1 5 times a week. It's not bad at all. So that's our goal, 56%. We are 13-6. Hopefully, we will have a better percentage tomorrow. And I always love doing these shows on the Props Network when my life is in chaos. It's been a chaotic morning over here, but we're going to be back tonight. If you want to watch a live stream for the walk-on, we're breaking down all the wild card games. We're breaking down the college football championship with the roast ghost Eli Sayers. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But until then, happy hooping, gainful gambling, and for the Props Network, this is Joel Walkowski walking off. Why didn't you cut it?